What is up, guys? I am Michael R. Salas, the director of Until the End, and I am here with my good friend and associate, Mr. Evan Carrington, the writer, producer, and actor. Main actor in Until the End. Yeah, we got all three in there, buddy.
Yeah, you did.
We got all three in there. So today, we are talking about the film. We're doing have a little fun with the commentary.
Yeah.
Just going through, seeing what we made and talking about it. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Let's kick this off.
Yeah. Let's press play. Inspired by true events.
Very specific in that wording there.
Yes, we have to be.
I still remember storyboarding this out, actually.
Yeah. You're just getting into it like 13 seconds.
Right away we're gonna be, because I wanted to give a shout out to my awesome DP, Mr. Denzel Barnes.
Yes.
I have very fond memories of sitting down with him, and we actually storyboarding out the opening, and he had some excellent ideas, and it was also fantastic because he was encouraging different opening. He helped guide me to what I think was a better opening than what I was originally planning on.
Yeah.
Because originally I wanted this whole big elaborate shot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Like going in through the front doors of the chapel, seeing like these rows of people, going down the rows, seeing people in the rows, getting up to the stage, and he brought me back to my film school roots. We cut right to the chase. It was just all we need. Fade in on the podium.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I say it worked out. Yeah, it definitely worked out.
I hope so.
I mean, they'll see once they get past 13 seconds, man.
I was gonna say, yeah, 13 seconds in, we're already.
Yeah. Shout out to the prop shop for those microphones.
Oh yes.
And
pause it right there for this is our friend Mr. Joshua Williams here.
Yep.
He not only acted, but he also cut our first teaser trailer and trailer.
Yes.
And he also did some editing work on it as well. And he it was funny because initially he also did the soundtrack.
Yes, he
did. And
did.
initially we only wanted him for the we wanted him to act, or wanted him to do the soundtrack? Because I know you wanted him for.
I wanted him to act. You wanted him very badly to do the soundtrack under the Keycentric pseudonym, because that's his official title. So shout out to Keycentric as well.
Yes. Be sure to Google it, check out his site, and get some music, because he is quite talented.
Quite.
But it was very funny because early on it was a real struggle to even get him to consider being in it.
Yes.
That was first hurdle. We first prioritized, okay, just if we can get him to be this one character, just get him in it. And as soon as we had that, it was another 2 or 3 month battle to be like, okay, can I get you to compose?
Yes.
Can I convince you? And then after finally getting him locked in there, we started doing some rehearsals, and we actually did the project. And from that point onward, Homeboy started volunteering for things.
He really did. Yeah, he did.
He was like, hey, can I cut the trailer for this?
That's one less thing we have to worry about. So of course, we'll happily let you cut the trailer.
We will always take volunteers.
Yes.
But yeah, it was great. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, won't talk about it now, but there's something about this specific shot. There's something about this very specific shot. I wanted you to take a good look at this this shot we have freeze framed right here, and see if you can discern anything about it. And we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah. Let's hit play. 21 seconds.
This is how it's gonna be.
Shout out to all of our extras.
Oh my word, yes.
Yeah, they came through in a big way.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna pause it right when we get back to.
There he is.
There we go. Okay. 40 seconds. Shout out to Matthew Walker, my little brother. Not by blood, but pretty much just by life experience. Did an amazing job. He was our producer for this film, one of our lead producers for it. He also played Reverend Jesse Jackson for the film. And also we didn't say, well, should we say who Josh plays? Josh plays Reverend Ralph Abernathy as well. And they did a phenomenal job, just really helped rounding out the cast. And Matt more so produces. He also directs and writes himself. But it's always cool giving him a chance to get in front of the camera at the same time. He really did a good job with this role.
Yes.
Shout out to Founders Inn.
Right here.
Hello.
So
That frame.
I love that frame.
Yeah.
But fun fact about this one, 55 seconds in, we getting this particular shot was a bit of a challenge because unfortunately we had a lot of handheld shots.
Yeah.
And we did not have a Steadicam.
No.
So we also didn't have the necessary gear for this particular shot because originally it was supposed to just be a simple just slide from the phone over to your face.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we didn't have the gear for it, so we had to get a little bit creative. And actually, a few of these shots, I'm not certain, I can't recall actually whether the shot we went with in the final film was reversed, but one of the things we had to do for some of the shots so we could get the look I wanted was we actually went from your face over to the phone and just reversed it in post. And I actually can't remember which one this is, but I sure remember getting them. Is another fun fact about set. We shot over 2 days. It was a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And this was back in. It was
February 29th and March 1st. Yeah.
And I was
of this year.
Sick as a dog those 2 days. I don't think it was the Rona.
Will you stop?
I don't think it was the Rona.
Please. You did not have coronavirus.
I don't think.
You did not have the coronavirus.
So. It was very funny because it was right about that time when things started kicking off.
Well, thankfully, we were able to get this film out to you all for your viewing pleasure. And
Yes,
speaking of viewing pleasure, may I hit play, sir?
Oh, absolutely.
I will hit play, sir.
Go for it.
Hey, Martin. Bro. I know you may not be up for it, but I can tell that people really need you down here. Ralph, I'm tired. I can barely speak to you as it is. I'm afraid this weather's only gonna get worse.
Just gonna hop in real quick. Wanted to do a quick shout out to our wonderful sound designer,
Yes.
Randy Field. He did an impeccable job with the sound design, and it was. If you listen closely, you'll hear these the beautiful environments he crafted in the different locations. The juxtaposition between the office where Josh or Ralph Abernathy is, and then actually in MLK's hotel room, you can hear distant thunder. There were some perfect moments that were just thematically perfect to put those little thunder rumbles. You can hear the rain hitting the window outside.
You did a phenomenal job with that.
Yes.
Just speaking on this particular scene, just from an acting perspective, it was interesting because obviously Josh wasn't there when we shot our scenes in the hotel room, which again, shout out to Founders for getting us this room. And I don't believe I was there for Josh's scenes when he filmed his scenes in the room. I think I popped in for a little bit in the office.
No.
Yeah. But it was cool. I mean, you did a great job reading off and playing off with both of us in this scene to give us both what we needed. But even still, me and Josh, I mean, I feel like we did a good job getting everything and conveying everything we needed to. And Josh, my favorite portion of the film just is coming up.
I think I know what it.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hit play.
I don't blame you. I can't even say I understand where you are. But I can say I am with you, Martin. These people are with you.
Bit of ADR there.
Understand,
Yeah.
Ralph. The spirit is willing, but the body, Ralph.
Yeah, I already know what you're thinking.
Go for it.
Yeah. Well, let me place that way they can see it fully. Oh, actually.
Well, it's okay. There's
Yeah.
going to be another opportunity, but that was another one of those
Yeah.
shots. We're just have you take a. Yeah, leave that alone. We'll have you take a
Yeah.
look at it and see
Gotcha.
see if you notice anything in this frame.
Yeah. It's funny because that wasn't in the script. You decided that day that you were going to put that in.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that was a really good creative choice.
No,
Really good creative choice.
and ultimately worked out too. So
Yeah. No, it didn't. Just barely. But it still did. Just timing wise with everything. But I'm going to leave it because I don't want to spoil what you were saying.
yes, we will have a wrap up in the end.
Yes, we will.
But until the end, let's continue until the end.
Yeah, nickel for every time we're going to say that.
He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint.
Nah, I don't wanna ruin it.
Oh, brother Isaiah. Negro, you sound like older brother Martin. Thank you, Ralph. It just gets hard with everything.
Love that beat right there so much.
I hear you loud and clear,
Thank you, sir.
but I got your back. And we're gonna see this through until the end. Yes, we will.
There it is. That light piano. Hmm.
I will say that scene was really fun to do, and it's even just better to watch just now that we finished it. That's easily my favorite portion of the film as far as Josh's performance is concerned. Just not only reciting that Bible verse, but really just taking that point and hammering it home to give what I needed to get in that scene. That was really cool to see everything come together. Yeah, that was... Just from the acting perspective, just being in that moment was just very tough.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that, just giving context, this is the night before Dr. King was assassinated. So just being in that headspace of not knowing if you're going to see your family again, because because doing some research on the night or the day before his death, when he traveled from Atlanta to Nashville, or Memphis, I apologize, just with the bomb throughout the plane that they received, and just with fearing for his life pretty much for the last couple of months, there was just a lot, I'm assuming, that ran through his mind, and that's a decision that I made as an actor to go into it. Just this general sense of world weariness, and just ultimately just looking to find that last bit of energy to give one more time to people when they really need it the most. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in, and I even remember just right before we got into the shooting, when we rehearsed, when the totality of everything that this man experienced at that time hit me during that first rehearsal, I got really emotional. Just because of everything that he experienced and everything that he stood for, and just recognizing where he was in his life at this time when we did that first rehearsal was just overwhelming.
Yeah. I distinctly remember that too, because we actually got to rehearse in the chapel space, which you'll see coming up in the third act here in a minute.
Yeah.
And the first time we were in there, the lights were down except for on the stage, and had Evan go in there, and we just listened to some of MLK's words, and then just sat there, and I had him really, take a moment and process. This was his journey. This is what he accomplished, and there was something about his final speech that it struck me with almost with a sense that he could feel something in there. He could feel something was coming. Not to be too I don't even know what terminology to use but it was the way he spoke. It was almost as if he felt or suspected his life might be coming to an end soon.
Right.
And he had accepted that. At least that's the way we saw it in his words. And he was taking a final powerful stand and saying, I just want to do God's will.
Yes.
And I believe I have done so in my life. And I can see the promise promised future.
Yes.
That we are so close.
Yes.
It always seems so close. It's an ongoing journey, but thanks to the life of someone like Dr. King, we're getting there progressively by the grace of God and through the actions of great men, from leaders and activists to just ordinary people who have the courage and the calling on their lives to stand for justice. So we went to a lot of places in that first rehearsal.
We really, really did. And it's funny because even just looking back on his speech, because to prep for it, I listened to the full speech several times. It is. And he draws parallels to Moses.
Yes.
Fairly often in the midst of the speech. And you almost look at Dr. King as a Moses-like figure and what he did for African Americans during that time, and really just for society as a whole, because he was pushing for a new world in which black men and white men and Jews and Gentiles could all live together in peace and in love and in justice. And I'm gonna stop before I count the pedestal, but just echoing what you said, we are where we are because of what God was able to do through servants like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And others who sought to do everything they could do and utilizing their God-given talents to be able to minister, to be able to speak, to be able to influence and empower people. And it's up to us as the next generation to do everything that we can to be able to use our voices, to be able to ultimately seek to serve God through serving others in the best way that we can, without prejudice, without malice, without hatred. And I'm really should stop before I get on the pedestal.
Preach up.
But honestly, I mean, we have a tall task ahead of us. But when we partner with God, when we partner what we bring to the table with what God can bring to the table, that's when we can get there. So.
Oh, goodness.
It's your fault, man. You got me started.
No, it's all good. There we go.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We got some difficult days ahead. But it really don't matter with me now. Because I've already been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind.
I'm just gonna play this
Like
through.
anyone, I
and
like
we'll
to
go back.
live a long life, longevity as this place. But I'm not concerned with that now. I just want to do God's will. And He has allowed me to go up into the mountain. And I've looked over. And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you. But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.